Good afternoon, everybody. How y'all doing? Yesterday, I shared with you a few things about our passive income generators wealth building club. This is a set it and forget it type program that we have been involved in for a couple of years, and it has been so exciting. And we've got a 50% off. Looks like we've got that problem that we had yesterday. Hopefully we can get that figured out. Anyways, we've got a special going on right now for the month of August, 50% off. September 1, the price goes up. So this is a special deal, special promotion that we've got going. So today what I would like to do is share with you the power of 3% compounded weekly. Many of you may not realize, or you're not familiar with kind of what the going rates of investments are throughout in the United States or in Canada or throughout the world. What's good, what's not. So I encourage you, number one, for the US, you can go on to bankrate.com and check out the latest interest rates. For example, you can find out what today's rates are for mortgage rates, auto loans, just CDs, treasury notes, money market accounts, all those things, and what is considered good for your investments. A lot of people would say probably 6 to 10% a year would be stellar over time. But what's exciting is our group right now, we have been averaging about 3% per week. And you might be thinking, sounds risky. Yes, some are more risky than others. High risk, high reward, but we do our due diligence, and sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. Right now, thankfully, we are winning way more than we are losing. We've only had 2 projects over the whole entire time that we've been doing to not do as well as what we expected, and one recently went belly up. But anyways, we've been real pleased, and what we do is we scour around. We've got basically everybody in our network out here looking across the globe to find wonderful passive income generating business opportunities. And they bring them back to us, and we look at them, we vet them, and then every 90 days we put small sums of cash and we test those out. We publish the results, which is probably what you've been seeing across my social media sites on LinkedIn, Facebook, and some of my other things, TikTok, and just across social media to kind of let folks know what's going on. Now, again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm just an everyday person sitting here sharing what is working for me, what I am doing, what our group is doing, and we're sharing our results. What you do is totally up to you. So anyways, I'd like to get started by showing you a couple of things on the power of 3% compounded weekly, because that's the average between a couple of our projects right now that we're real comfortable with. We've been getting this for quite some time, and it feels great. So anyways, I'm going to share with you, I'm going to open up my screen, and I'm going to share with you one of my favorite calculators. And you can find this calculator on your phone or on your computer, and you go to thecalculatorsite.com. This is one of the best calculators that I found, because traditionally, we're in a new economy right now where you might get 3% a day. And I'm just saying 3%, it could be any percent, weekly, daily, monthly, bi-weekly, but most calculators aren't equipped to figure out those numbers. This one is. I love this. You notice right down here, it's got compound interest, daily compounding, Forex compounding. So we're going to use the calculatorsite.com just to give you an idea of what it would be, how much you would need, and how much it would be over a course of, let's just say, 3 to 5 years. So we're going to start with $100. What would happen if you put $100 into a project for 3% a week for, we're going to say, 5 years? And again, we're compounding weekly. Anybody out there, do you have any ideas how much it might be? if you put $100 in and you're getting 3% a week for 5 years? How much money do you think that you would have at the end of each of those years? And again, there's no guarantees or anything like that. This is just a hypothetical example that I want to get your juices flowing and to show you that you need less than what you think you do to achieve your financial goals. Okay, let's hit the calculate button. $217,609 off of $100. Can you see that? If you need to increase the size of that screen, go ahead. Let me see if I can do that for you. All right, year one. How much interest did you earn? $365.09. Your balance at the end of year one would be $465.09. At the end of year two, $2,100, $10,000, $46,000, $217,000. What do you notice about this? In the early years, compounding, it's slow, right? It's slow. The first year, however, you're making 4 times your money, 100 to 465. And this is the amount that you've accrued. This is the total amount. That's off of $100, folks. $100. How exciting would that be in 5 years? If you think that's exciting, let's try another number. That's 100. Let's try $500. $500 at 3% a week for 5 years, compounded weekly. How much do you think that would be? That's $500 one time. Calculate. Where did it go? There it is. All right. $500 one time. At the end of year one, you will have earned $1,825 in interest. Year two, $10,000 in interest. Year three, $49,000, almost $50,000. Year four, $233,000. Look here. Year five, you're over $1 million. In 5 years, all other things equal, hypothetically speaking, if you put $500 into a platform, earning 3% a week. Now, one thing I will tell you, some of these platforms cost a monthly fee. One of our main ones does cost $25 a month, and we take that into consideration, and I can show you how to do that on the calculator as well. Some may be less, some may be more, but you always have to take your fees into consideration. But I'm just for this hypothetical example, I just want to show you the power of compounding a little bit of money, 3% a week, how powerful that can be. Because a lot of times people think, Nancy or Sue, depending on where you are in this world and where you met me is what you call me, you know, I don't have any extra money. And I laugh because you don't need a lot of money. Most of you spend way more than that at the convenience store, eating out each month. All I'm asking you to do is think about these alternative ways to change the financial trajectory of your family's life. I'm talking legacy changed, not just barely getting by. I know some of you have retirements. They may not be as good as what you would like for them to be right now with the economy going up. And as crazy it is, the recession, I mean, my grocery bill and gas bill is just out of this world. I don't know about you. And, you know, Rob's retired. Well, that amount is fixed. And if we want any more money, what do we have to do? We have to do some side gigs. We have to have some additional money because it's not our lifestyle income. That gets our bills paid and all of that. And some of you may be in the same situation. I know I've got a lot of teacher friends out there and a lot of civil service retirees. You've got a really nice retirement income, but it's not giving you the lifestyle to live the life. You know, one of those, I always say, We want to live lives worth smiling and talking about. You want to be proud. You want to have time freedom and money freedom to do whatever it is that you want to do. So sometimes we have to think outside the box and do things just a little bit different. Some of us don't have 20, 30 years on our side anymore to do this. And so that's why I'm looking at these non-traditional in the new economy. There's options available. There's options available. So again, this one was with $500. $500, 5 years, you've got $1 million. How much would it take? Yesterday, I gave you some stats. A family vacation, a family of 4, on average is $4,580. So about $5,000. Credit card debt in the US on average is about $6,194. You want to get out of debt? Get rid of that credit card. Auto loans. Some of you think that you can't survive unless you got a car payment. Well, you know what? Yes, you can. You can survive. I can show you how to do that. So auto loans on average, $32,187. Right now in this climate, I know my daughter's looking for a vehicle right now. It's a bad time to buy a vehicle. And I just had Murphy visit. We got home from vacation and my transmission went out on my SUV. And that stinks because it's going to cost about $4 to $6 grand to get that fixed. But when you figure out a car payment, you know, some of these car payments, y'all are paying almost as much as what my mortgage payment is on car payments. That's crazy to me. May not be crazy to you, but it is for me. I keep on thinking about, man, what could I do with that $1,000 a month? That's a great vacation. 1,000 times 12, that's $12,000 a year, right? But anyways, auto loans, $32,187. And I would bet it's higher than that because I'm looking at some of these vehicles now. They're well over 50 grand. I can remember I was laughing the other day telling somebody we paid about I think it was $33,800 for one of our first houses in Oklahoma, a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath home on about, I think it was about a half acre. So spending that much on a car, it's really funny. I feel like I'm probably sounding like my grandparents or my parents talk about how much prices have went up. But anyways, auto loans on average, $644 a month. The mortgages on average is $220. That's $220,000. So when you add all of that up, I'm trying to see if I did that. Another number that you might want to know is the average household income to see how you stack up against the average person in America. Average household is $87,864. So when you're talking about retiring or becoming financially independent, you want to replace that income with passive income. And yesterday I told you what passive income is. That means that if it's active income, you have to actually do something to earn that money. Like you have to go to work, you have to do a job, you have to have a business, something like that, where you're actively involved earning that money. Passive income is you've dressed up your dollars in overalls and they're going to work for you. And I also like to say this, one day, you know, you want your money working so hard for you so that one day your money is working so hard for you that you no longer have to work hard for your money. So that all you have to do basically is open up and check your accounts and make sure that everything is running smoothly. That's the ideal definition of passive income, where you have very little, if next to zero, that you have to do. All of our projects that we're doing, basically, we don't have to do anything. We put our money in these projects, let the experts do their thing, and they just pay us for using our money. That is ideal. Okay, so this one is 500 in 5 years, $1 million. Do you know how much most people would say in the financial planners, depending on if you've got your mortgage paid for and all that stuff by the time you retire, somewhere between 5 and 10 million. How's your retirement account stacking up against that? Are you on track? 5 to 10 million? Well, here's an option right now that you could possibly, again, there's no guarantees, and past performance does not indicate future performance. This is just a hypothetical example that I'm sharing with you, but it is an idea and it is an option. It's an option for me. It's also an option for you based on whether you think that's something, you know, that would work for your family. Let's try another number. These getting you excited yet? Okay, that was with 500. Now let's try 1,000. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to put all this money in at one time. You could start out with $100 and just add to it a little bit every single month. And over time, get a larger amount into these accounts, right? So this is $1,000, $1,000 at 3% a week for 5 years. Let's take a look at that. Hit the calculate button. $2 million at the end of 5 years. So you start out with 1,000. First year, you've earned 3,600. Look at this next year. You went from 3,600 to $20,000 in 1 year. From year 2 to 3, look at the difference here in the amount that you would earn. 20,000 to almost 100,000. Anybody shocked looking at this number? It's just simple math. It's not funny math. It's not anything. It is compounding interest. And they'll say it's one of the wonderful wonders of the world. Okay, year 4, almost $500,000. At year 5, $2 million. $2 million. The end of 5 years. Some of you may not want to wait 5 years. Some of you got antsy and they're thinking, well, what if these businesses don't hang around that long? I'd like to do it in maybe 2 or 3 years instead of 5. Well, you would need to increase the amount of money that you put in. So let's try another number. This was with 1,000. Let's try 2,500. 2,500 at 3% a week. $2,500 at the end of 5 years would be $5 million. Again, look at the numbers, how they change from year to year because of that compounding, the power of compound interest. 9,000 to 51,000, 51 to 200, almost 249,000, from 249 to 1.1 million, from 1 million to 5 million. Guys, that is powerful, powerful math. And that is the power of compounding weekly. The power of compounding weekly. Some of these projects do way better than this. We've got one right now that's expected to start earning about 10%. Are you ready for this? A week. We hope it does that, but I'm happy. I'm thrilled with 3% a week right now. Thrilled, considering most people think 10% a year is good, or if you got your money stuck in a crazy, stupid CD at your bank and you're earning a half a penny for a year or whatever that is. And yeah, I know you're probably saying, yeah, but that's super, super safe and I don't have to worry about it. Well, let me tell you how super, super safe that is, folks. Guess what inflation is right now? They're paying you 0.5%, and inflation is what? Did you just hear that? 6 to 8%, depending on who's doing the calculation, is how much inflation has went up. So no, the banks are not doing you no favors and your money is not safe. You might as well just bring it home and stick it under your mattress. All right, that's 2,500. Next, you want to try 5,000? See what 5,000 and 10,000 will give you? Let's try 5,000. That's what I'm talking about. There's that magic $10 million number in 5 years. Okay. $5,000 accrued interest, 18,000 in year 1. Next year, 103,000. The next year, 498,000. The next year, 2.3 million. Year 5, $10.8 million. That's in 5 years with $5,000. What could you do to come up with $5,000? What kind of side gig, side hustle could you come up with to add to an account over time. You probably got junk laying around your house that you could sell to try and help fund some of these accounts. I'm not joking. Sell everything but the kitchen sink. I know that's what we're doing. We're doing everything that we can to put as much money as possible into these accounts. Now, we don't just stick it all in just one account. We have several that we have funded. You want to diversify. You know, you don't want all your eggs in one basket in case something happens to one of them. Also, to note that you can pull money out at any time. You know, you might want to just pull. One of the things that we do is we pull our money out typically, and some have a 1/3, 1/3, and 1/3 rule. And you can set up your own money rules, but we like to start out with, let's just say $300. And then we pull out our earnings each week until we get our $300 back. And then we just let it ride. That way we're kind of playing with bank money, kind of like when you go to the casino and you're using the slots, you might take 10, 25 bucks. And once you earn that 10 or 25 bucks back, you set it over to the side because now you're at 100% and you just play with your winnings. That's kind of what we do here when we test these projects out. And that's how we minimize our risk. So at $5,000 in 5 years, $10.8 million. Hypothetical examples, just giving you a good idea on what would be possible in 5 years. I ask you this, what could you be doing to get these same results 5 years from today? Think about that. What is it that you're doing right now that could give you potentially these kind of results? Now, we've got some people who have 10,000 or more in here, and that's when it gets really exciting. And there's some ways that we can help you earn that too. You don't have to, like I said, these are all set it and forget it options. But some of these platforms, if you refer other people, you would get a commission and it would help you grow your account. You don't have to, it's strictly optional. But that's the way some people have really done a bang up job. I mean, we've got one in our group right now where he's up to about 70,000, I think he told me the other day, in his account. 70,000. And I'll show you what that's going to look like here in a minute. He's got 2 accounts that are going pretty strong like that. But he's got a fantastic, and he pulls out every week. So that's exciting. He's been working about a year and a half doing this. So he's done extremely well. All right, $10,000 in 5 years, 21 million, $21.7 million. This is how much? 206,996, 4.6 million to $21 million. Again, that's $10,000 in the account. And you can play with this calculator a bunch of different ways. I love this calculator. Let me show you, let's see what 50,000. You're probably thinking that would be, no way possible. But my friend will tell you it's absolutely possible because he's done it in about a year and a half, close to 2 years. It's taken him, that long to do it, but he's there. So wonder how much money he's making. Let's say a week. And this is just on one of the accounts. Let's just do the 50,000. This is how much, if he doesn't pull out 182,000, that's more than what he was making in his retirement because he's pulling it out. So this is not going to accrue like this. So he can just pull his money out every week. Every time he earns money, he can just pull that out. Every week, every week, every week. Pretty doggone amazing. Pretty amazing. Another thing that I'd like to show you with this calculator, I told you that there's 1,000 things that you can do. Not 1,000, I'm just exaggerating. But here, if you want to start out with, let's just say, start out with $100 and you wanted to deposit maybe $100 a month and you want to see how much you would have by doing that. So you can just start out small. Start out small. Here's what that might look like. You start out with 100 and you're putting $100 a month in it. So that would be $1,200 a year. And here's how your money would grow over time. You would have $1.8 million at the end of 5 years. Do you think that's doable? Could you start with 100 and put $100 a month every single month into one of these platforms? I think so. I think that's very doable. I think you would be surprised how much you're spending just on lattes and soda pops at the convenience store. I know a couple of years ago when I quit drinking sodas, I did not realize how bad of a habit that was. Every time I'd go through the checkout at Walmart or go get gas or go into the convenience store, I would just automatically go over there and open up the door and grab one of those. Did you know that sodas are more expensive than gas per gallon? Figure that out. I know I'm a nerd, but figure that out. So if you just give that little habit up, I bet you would have more than that you could use. I'm not wanting you to take away from your family. I'm wanting you to think outside the box and think about ways that you can do something different to change the financial trajectory. Give yourself a better quality of life. So again, that's $100 and $100 a month in 5 years. Not bad. Some people have asked me what my strategies are and what I plan on doing. And what I would like to do is you may or may not know this, but anyways, I love real estate. I love short-term rentals like Airbnb, vacation rentals. I live down here at the beach. And so I want quite a few of those little properties in my portfolio. So what I would like to do is to buy a bunch of properties or get people together and we buy properties together. And then we will use the rental income because frankly, real estate does not provide you with these kind of returns unless you're flipping and you know what you're doing or rehabbing. And I don't want to get into any of that. I don't like that. I love the vacation industry. I love sharing paradise with folks. I'm down here in Northwest Florida between Destin and Pensacola, and it's called the Emerald Coast for a reason. It is truly spectacular. Sugar white sand, emerald green water. I just love it. So that's the kind of properties that I want to get involved in. But real estate, they're not making any more of it, right? Where there's only so much land. And I want to use the rental income to fund more of these investment type projects. So then that becomes my cash cow. Every month, we just use the excess cash flow to put into these accounts and grow it for 5 years. So me personally, that's my strategy. Doesn't have to be your strategy, but that's some of the things that I want to do is I want to increase my portfolio, get those properties going so that I no longer have to take, money out of our personal and all of this stuff to try and fund these accounts to where eventually I get my own retirement account set up. Again, my husband has a great retirement and I followed him all around the world, and he was injured in Iraq back in 2006, 2007 timeframe. And that was, if you've ever wondered how that might be, you think you have your life planned, all of those things, but there was a recuperating period. I was a caregiver, all of that stuff, and I was at the top of my peak earning years. And so that turned everything upside down. We didn't know what was going to happen with his retirement, how that was going to end up. And so financially speaking, it was terrifying for us for a long time. But fast forward, we ended up, he was able to retire earlier than expected. He wanted to go to 20 years, but he ended up, 30 years, but he ended up with 23 years. And we got to go ahead and retire here to Florida, just like we had planned. But we had less money as far as my income goes. He's got a great retirement, but now it's time for me. So now, I've been working hard. You probably noticed that, to try and build up a retirement just as good, if not better, than my spouse's retirement. Because ladies, guess what? Your husband is not a retirement account. It belongs to him. Anything can happen. They could pass away before you. You could have to get a divorce. I mean, there's a million different scenarios that you need to also be financially independent and have an income source so that in your golden years, they will be golden. Most people now that you talk to, those golden years have not been so golden for them. You go to Walmart and you'll see elderly people working at the checkout stands, and they're not happy about it. They're not there because they want to be. They're there because they have to be. I'm pushing 60, And now there's a lot of you out there basically that are my age, if not older. You know, some of you may be over 40 and you're starting to think about your future. You know, you've been busy raising kids and all that stuff, spending every dime that it took to raise your family. And now you're looking at retirement thinking, man, I don't have enough. You know, I thought I did, or maybe, you know, Murphy came knocking and you had some unexpected expenses, or you made some poor money choices. You know, I have been there, done that, got the t-shirt for it. But I'm happy to report, thank goodness, with the internet, there are alternative financial strategies not right now available to you where you can make up for some of that. There's ways to minimize your risk, which our group does. Again, we get together every 90 days and we pool our resources, $30, $50, or $100 a piece, and we test out these passive income platforms all over the globe and see which ones are winners, which ones are duds, and which ones are so-so. So instead of each one of us doing these individually and maybe one go belly up or something like that, we're doing it as a group. And it's really wonderful because we've got people from all over the world. We've got different experience levels, you know, everyday people just like you and I. They've got different educational levels, different things that they've been involved in. So it's really powerful. Eagles don't hang out with turkeys, chickens, and vultures. There's something magical that happens when a group of people like that get together. I mean, it truly is magical. I have had so much fun meeting people from all over the globe, thanks to platforms like this, Zoom, Facebook, and all of that. And I've been getting to meet some of those people live in person this year, which is even more exciting. But anyways, just wanted to stop by and share with you the power of compounding 3% weekly, and to show you that you need far less than what you thought you did to get involved. If you have at least $10 a month, I encourage you, come join us. Come join the passive income generators. It's a lot of fun. You don't have to do nothing. We record our meetings, which are held on Zoom the third Tuesday of every month from 11:30 to 1. And if you can't be there, that's okay. You can just watch the recording. Sometimes you don't even care. And so the other thing is 85% of all of our earnings gets distributed among all those who are sponsoring these projects. So when you come in, it's a revenue sharing royalty reward. It's pretty cool. So when we win on a project, you win too. Everybody that's participating, 85% of that is distributed equitably among all those who are participating. And each project is a little bit different. But for the most part, we're looking for set it and forget it opportunities. We're all busy. We don't want to be having to, you know, one more thing on our to-do list. So I'm Nancy Gaskins, sowing seeds of financial hope and opportunity in communities around the globe. If you would like more information about our passive income generators opportunity for the month of August, again, it is 50% off right now. And I will drop the link in the comments below for any of you who would like to get started. I'll be holding some orientations over the next couple of weeks on Fridays and on Tuesdays to get you started. Also, if you would like a list of the passive income opportunities that I'm currently involved in, you can send me a message with your email and I will send you a list of those as well. All right, y'all have a fabulous afternoon.